Welcome to Hack the Entrepreneur, the show which reveals the fears, habits, and inner battles behind big-name entrepreneurs and those on their way to joining them. Now here is your host, John Naster.
Welcome to Hack the Entrepreneur. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm your host, John Naster, but you can call me Johnny. Today's guest is a serial entrepreneur. His success comes from his unparalleled perseverance, and he will tell you that he has failed more than most. At the age of 25, with money he got from his father, my guest made the transformation from a street vendor of flowers into a top securities day trader in only 12 months. This alone is a brilliant story, but just the beginning. After beating the odds on Wall Street, my guest has taken his team-building skills and personal experience, and he has created a family of products that reflect his passion for educating and supporting entrepreneurs. Today, he is the founder and CEO of OntraPort, a 10-year-old company. OntraPort is an award-winning, all-in-one marketing and business automation platform to help entrepreneurs start, systematize, and scale their businesses. Now, let's hack Landon Ray. I want to take a moment to thank today's awesome sponsor, ShipStation. When you're selling physical products online, getting your orders out the door quickly can be tough. That's why you need ShipStation. Whether you're using Shopify, Squarespace, Etsy, BigCommerce, or WooCommerce, you can track all of your sales, everything across more than 75 sales channels from one simple interface, or from anywhere you happen to be with the ShipStation mobile app. Yes, it's available for Apple and Android. ShipStation helps you get orders fast and get them out to your customers faster. And with ShipStation, you'll ship more in less time and you'll get the best rates available. It's no wonder that ShipStation is the number one choice of online sellers. Right now, as a Hack the Entrepreneur listener, you can try ShipStation free for 30 days. And you'll get an additional month for free, but only if you use my promo code, HACK. Don't wait. Go to ShipStation.com. Before you do anything else, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage. And in the promo code section, type in HACK. That's ShipStation.com, promo code HACK. ShipStation. Make ship happen. We are back with another episode of Hack the Entrepreneur, and today we have a brilliant, brilliant man on the show. Landon, thank you for joining me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure.
And that's my kind of intro.
Nice. Landon, let's jump straight into this. As an entrepreneur, can you tell me what is the one thing that you do that you feel has been the biggest contributor to your successes so far?
Let's see. I guess you probably will have heard this before. I have to admit that I haven't listened to a lot of your shows, so I'm not sure if this is the same thing that everybody says, but I would have to say that perseverance has been the key to my success. For sure, I have failed more than most. And just basically, kind of holding the bar high for myself and continuing to strive to have the work that I produce match my vision over the course of, now in this business, a decade. There's a quote by Ira Glass that you may have heard, and I won't say the whole thing because I can't possibly remember it, but you can look it up online, just Ira Glass quote, probably will find it. And it's about the gap between creatives' visions, like creative people's visions, and the actual work that they produce. And how at the beginning of their careers, this gap is painfully frustrating because you have this vision of what the product of your work should look like, and you're just not that good. And and again, this is a long quote. It's more like a paragraph or two. But basically, he says that a lot of people just quit. They get frustrated and they quit, especially people that are creatives and have a passion for making their visions into reality. And they see other people's work. I certainly have fallen victim to this, seeing other people's work and going, God, how the hell are they so good and am I so bad? And, it makes me want to punch these people that I respect in the face sometimes, and or myself or something. But eventually, if you persevere and just don't stop, the thing that you don't see is that those people that you respect and think are amazing also probably sucked at one point, and they've just had the wherewithal to keep going, over the course of years. Sometimes for me, it was honestly, we're still. I don't want to unsell our product or our business because we're pretty amazing at this point. But the reality is that there remains a gap between my vision for what we should be able to provide and what we actually do provide. The gap is certainly shrinking, and it used to be painful, and now I'm very proud of what we created. But I still struggle with that.
Wow. So I'm wondering, I don't know that quote, but I just once a week, every Sunday, I write to my email list for this show. And I wrote about something called the entrepreneurial gap that I was discussing with somebody last week on the show. And it's been stuck in my head because it was profound to me. And this sounds like that. The point of entrepreneurs where we set goals for ourselves and our businesses, we hit that goal. And literally the second we hit that goal, 5 more goals or 10 more loftier goals instantly spread out in front of us.
Yeah.
And we never stop we're always not where we want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
The truth is that I wonder if we actually ever hit the goal, because I think that most of us probably move the goalposts on ourselves before we actually hit the goal, that consider themselves to be creatives or visionaries, pretty much are chasing the horizon and allowing yourself to either be stopped by that or be, miserable about that is definitely a pitfall.
Yeah, you're actually probably more correct. We probably don't even hit that goal before we further the goalposts out to ourselves. And like to hear somebody at your stage with the business you have of OntraPort, it's amazing what you guys do. Like from the outside, me looking at you is amazing. And to hear you say that you want to hit somebody because you can't believe what they're doing. Shocks me.
Chestnut.
You know what I mean?
Chestnut,
It's just like, doesn't everybody just want to get to where Landon is? And you're just like, oh, you're there. And now you're just like, no, we got to get here.
Yeah. No, doesn't everybody want to punch Ben Chestnut in the stomach? I do. You can tell him I said so. It's in the most loving possible way.
I know, but it's interesting. Okay, so let's take this back if we can, because there's a time I find in every entrepreneur's life when they realize one of two things. Either they have this calling to make something big in the world and be that visionary that you talk about, or they simply cannot work for somebody else. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me which of these two you are and when you sort of discovered this about yourself?
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely say it's both very, very clearly. However, for sure, when I got started, it was because I couldn't work for somebody else. I had a career previous to being a kind of a serious entrepreneur where I was a trader. I traded stock in the late 90s and I did well for myself. And I didn't have any real, I was like a day trader. I don't know if you remember that, but I didn't have like an MBA or a business degree or any real skills at all. I just had some money that I borrowed from my dad that I turned into a whole lot of money. And when that ended in 2001, I had a pretty good little nest egg, but I still didn't have any real skills other than how to trade stock. And so I took a few years off and then, realized that I was going to have to do something else with my life and that nobody would pay me the amount of money that it would take to get me to go to work. So that was basically the deal. I mean, I just had no choice. And so when I started in 2004, it was originally about making a living. And I started this other business and I only had that business for about 18 months and it was a miserable affair. I did it all wrong in a lot of different ways. And I learned a lot. That was kind of like my real training ground. And then that was during that period is where I kind of recognized the need for and created the ideas around what OntraPort is today. And actually ended up taking a few of those employees and reorganizing the business and beginning OntraPort out of that experience. And one of the things that I realized during that period, or actually even a little bit later, is that life is more fun and projects are more fun and the people that you get to be around with, be with and around are more interesting if what you create is a mission that is worth, spending the time of your life achieving. Does that make sense?
That's smart. That's really smart.
Yeah.
And OntraPort as it is today, is that?
OntraPort is a work in progress. OntraPort today is a very powerful business and marketing automation platform that's used by thousands of entrepreneurs all over the world. And it's, pretty breathtaking in its scope. And so, yes, there's a lot, and we do a lot of really good work. It's definitely a leading platform. And for our users, it's absolutely mission critical. And it's something we're really proud of. And it isn't today fulfilling the vision for what our company is about. What our company is about removing the burden of technology from entrepreneurs so that they can focus on doing what they love, right? What we know after spending 10 years in the trenches with entrepreneurs all over the world is that, almost all of them did not get into business because they love technology. They almost all got into business because they love what they do. They're into it because they want to make a difference, or they, see a problem that they know they can solve, right? They want to help people or they want to create something, like you said. And for almost all of them, the technology that they have to deal with that's now required as a part of doing business in the 21st century is a giant nightmare. It's a distraction that they have to deal with that stands between them and their goals. And for us, that is a travesty, because entrepreneurs are just stopped and overwhelmed and too often like completely finished by having to deal with the reality of what it takes. And as you probably know, it takes something. And, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but in America, 77% of all businesses that are started, which is about 450,000 a month, 77% of them are started by people over 35. And more than half of them are started by people over 55. These are not digital natives. These are people that are threatened by technology in a way that even you or I, who, we both admitted that we're not programmers, even though we have software companies before we started here, even you or I are dramatically more sort of technologically capable and comfortable than the vast majority of people who start businesses. And these are people that have deep experience and wealth of, passion to share with the world, right? And that they are stopped by the state of technology today is horrible and a tragedy and a massive inefficiency in the world. And so what we are out to do is to just take that away and make it easy to deal with technology for entrepreneurs. And so the gap is that we have power tools, real power tools, and they are not yet easy enough for my mom to use. And that's actually my bar, is that I want my mom to be able to come to ontraport.com, and if she wanted to launch a business, have everything dialed enough, so that it's like the iPhone of online software. And we're just not there. You just have to, the reality, it's an amazing platform. It's simpler than the competition, but to call it simple, it would be a lie. It's a project.
That's got to be a hard thing to admit.
Yeah, I don't know if I've done that on air before, but it's, come on, you're going to figure it out in a second. Look, I don't want to undersell us, because it is, like I said, it's certainly easier than the competition, and it's
exactly.
And it's an extraordinarily powerful program. And sometimes you just got to, buckle down and figure it out. If you want to be a graphic designer, you got to learn Photoshop. And there's a lot of buttons on Photoshop. I don't know if you noticed, but
exactly,
it is, it's a tough one. And, we're not Photoshop. It's not that hard. But the reality is you got to sit down and learn this tool. If you want to be, capable in this 21st century entrepreneurial world, you got to learn some tools. And this is one of the better ones to sit down and learn.
Definitely. And yeah, it didn't sound like you were underselling yourself. I just mean admitting that you have this really high bar where you want your mom to be able to use it with her technical abilities. And to admit that as a CEO of a company and a founder must be like, you know where you want to be. And yet with all your resources, you still can't quite get there yet, but you at least know where you need to go. And some people falsely tell themselves that, no, we are there. And your mom looks at it and is like, I have no idea how to use this. So it's bold and smart of you. And visionary in that way to know the truth behind it. That's good.
Maybe obsessive compulsive with me also.
I think that's necessary for some of us entrepreneurs. So Landon, at the beginning, you told me perseverance is the one thing that you do. And now every blog post, every expert is talking 80-20 rule. Do 20% of the work, 80% of the results. Do what you're good at, delegate the rest. In business, in your business, can you tell me something, Landon, that you are absolutely not good at?
Yeah, just about everything. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I mean, this thing has gotten to be a, relatively, at least for me, a pretty significant business. We're like 120, 110 or 20 people now, and there's a whole lot of people around me that are better at doing just about everything than I am. I mean, for sure, you're never going to see me like opening up a spreadsheet and dealing with anything financial at all. I've become a passable manager because out of necessity, but the truth is, I'm not a great manager of people. I'm, not terribly organized. I have people that kind of keep me organized and on track. And yeah, I'm not a great designer. I don't program. I don't, code software. Gosh, there's a lot that gets done around OntraPort that I'm not the best at.
So it's the vision. You have the vision.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So there's a few things that I am pretty good at. I don't want to undersell myself either. Yeah, there's a few things I'm pretty good at. The vision is a big piece of it. Taking 120 people and getting them all pointed in the right direction and producing work. I think I had a little bit of a talent at the beginning, but I've also learned a ton about over the last decade. And being able to, it's not enough to hire somebody and say, go to town, groping around trying to figure out what your vision is. And it turns out that it takes much more clarity than you think to get 120 people marching in the same direction, actually producing the vision that like floats around in my head. So making a strategy, vision painting, those are some key strengths of mine. And then I'm still the product manager of our software. And so I design all the software, which I don't think I'm terrible at either.
Wow. You're still the product manager. That's impressive.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think it's one of the most important things that I could be doing these days. It used to be, before the internet, that you could kind of produce whatever and get a bunch of salespeople out there, pounding the pavement saying that we've got the thing. And if you, got a customer and it turns out that you didn't have the thing, there wasn't a lot of repercussions for that. You just, got another salesperson and another customer. And the winners in the past were those companies that had the biggest sales teams and marketing teams. And there's examples of that all over the place. And, so for example, well, I'm not going to actually say the negative examples, but there's, you can imagine, I could list a whole bunch of big companies that are public companies that just basically have crappy products, and they won because they had huge sales teams. These days, that doesn't fly anymore because word travels too fast. If you have a crappy product, everybody knows about it. And if you have a great product, everybody knows about it. That couldn't have happened. I mean, to bring Ben Chestnut up again, this MailChimp story could not have happened 10 years ago. It's just not possible because there was no mechanism for word to travel the way it does now. There's no way you can do 7 million demos of your software, right? The only possible way is to have great products and to deliver extraordinary experiences to your clients, at scale. And that's something that he's done brilliantly. So that's all to say that I continue to believe that product in this day and age and in the future is pretty much the most, and when I say product, I really mean product and experience is the most important thing. Everything else comes second.
Nice. I love it. Okay, this one is going to be easy for you because at the beginning you told me that you failed more than most. So as entrepreneurs and as human beings in general, one of our greatest struggles is the fear of being wrong, making mistakes, and failing. Landon, can you tell me how to be wrong?
How to be wrong? God, I wonder if this is too rude to say, but to me, so I don't have any problem with being wrong. I'm wrong all the time, and I don't have any concern about, asking the stupid question or, making the wrong call or, it just happens all the time, right? And I mean, again, I don't mean to be like overly modest. I am a smart guy, but I don't fear making mistakes. I just don't, and I never really have. And I would say that the reason that, because man, do you notice how people aren't just afraid of like being wrong in a big way, like, starting a business and spending 4 years on it and having it be a dumb product and a failure. Like that's a big wrong. But people are afraid of like little ones, like I said, like asking a silly question or, just looking bad for a second. And I think that for whatever reason, I have a sort of confidence about myself as a human being. Like kind of think I'm okay. And I kind of believe that I'm not a stupid person. And so I have like a fundamental belief that, if I am asking this question, it's just not a stupid question. Or if I'm making this mistake, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. I'm perfectly fine as a human being. And wrong is just something that happens sometimes. And so I wonder if the fear of being wrong isn't actually, kind of like underneath that, isn't actually, some kind of concern about, just some kind of like lack of confidence or, concern about your self-worth in the world. I mean, again, maybe that sounds too rude, but I wonder.
Yeah, because you think that the reason why you are kind of okay with being wrong is because you're a smart guy. You know that you have done some things right and you will do some things wrong. It's just kind of part of life, right?
Yeah.
But if you're lacking that, then
yeah, what are you trying to hide? I don't know. I would say, maybe some work on just appreciating that wherever you're at, you are a whole and complete human being that, has everything you possibly need to be successful, and that you deserve to achieve, and you deserve the fruits of your labor. And there's nothing that is, less about you or more about anybody else. Fundamentally, I don't think that there's actually a giant gap between, the smartest people and the stupidest people out there. There's, people are people, and applied, when their focus is applied to a problem and that sort of lack of confidence is out of the way, people are capable of amazing things. And you just have to, learn to appreciate that about yourself.
yeah, exactly. And it also, and I guess that's confidence, right?
Yeah.
And having that.
Yeah, I guess maybe it is. I don't know.
That's what it sounds. I mean, it sounds like to you, the reason why is because you are confident in yourself. So therefore you're right. Like people are afraid of even just asking the silly question, not even like epic mistakes, like 4 years in business. Mm-hmm. And it's got to be just a confidence thing.
Yeah.
So that's how to be wrong. Just step up your confidence.
I guess so. That's yeah.
Excellent. All right, Landon, we are going to end on success and the future. So you've done some amazing things. You really have. I mean, from ending in 2001 of day trading and not even being a stockbroker, I think you said, and then trading people, making a whole bunch of money, and then going into another business and then sort of realizing that wasn't going right, and now creating OntraPort. A decade later, it's doing amazing things. You've got Entrepalooza running. You've done a lot of stuff, yet maybe I'm hoping you don't still run in that Iraglass gap, but if everything had to end today in your career, would you be happy with what you've accomplished and the legacy that you've got to leave up till this point?
Oh my. Like my business legacy or my life legacy?
If you can separate the two that easily, then go for it. But I would think they're probably fairly tied in a way, aren't they?
I mean, I've got 2 little kids. I'd be pretty bummed to leave my kids right now.
Yeah.
Although, they're old enough to appreciate that their dad has, created something pretty unique. And that's good. I can see in my daughters that they've got a little bit of the sense that they can do anything they put their mind to, that, I hope that I helped instill in them. And so that's a worthwhile legacy for sure. In terms of the business, yeah, we've helped a whole lot of people. And in terms of our customers, honestly, if I were to die today and could look back from above, I'd probably be more proud of what we've created internally in our business and the difference we've made for our 110 or 20 people in the company. We've got a significant, serious commitment to making a difference for the people in our business, and I think we've done a pretty amazing job at that, and have definitely made a difference in a lot of people's lives internally. And that would be what I'm more proud of, I think.
Oh, that's a beautiful answer. So Landon, we've talked about your business in passing all through this chat. Can you just specifically tell people where to go find out more about you and your business? Oh,
sure. OntraPort, ONTRAPORT.com. Yeah, OntraPort is a business building platform for entrepreneurs, the smallest of entrepreneurs. Half of our customers don't even have full-time employees. So this is the place where you go if you want to, start and systemize and scale your business. It's got everything from CRM to web page creation to lead capture and follow-up, email marketing, SMS marketing, payment processing. It's a complete toolkit for doing business online.
Brilliant. I love it. Landon, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a great conversation, and I appreciate you taking the time.
You bet. Thanks. Thank you, John.
When you're selling online, getting your orders out the door quickly can be tough, but also absolutely essential to your continued success. This is why you need ShipStation.com. It's the fast and easy way to manage and ship your orders, all from one place. Right now, you can try ShipStation for free for 30 days. Plus, you're going to get an additional month free, but only if you use my promo code. Promo code is HACK. Don't wait. Go to ShipStation.com before you do anything else. Click on the little microphone at the top of the homepage and type in HACK. Once again, that's ShipStation.com and enter promo code HACK. ShipStation. Make ship happen. Landon, thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you being so candid and sharing so much with us. If you haven't tried OntraPort before, Landon has spent 10 years building a platform. It's the all-in-one marketing automation platform to help entrepreneurs systematize and scale their businesses. It's how to use email and sales funnels and lead generation funnels to build your business. Thousands and thousands of people use it every month and absolutely love it. And it used to be called Office Autopilot prior to changing its name to OntraPort. And it is just, he's doing amazing things. He is pouring his heart and soul into it. And he's making an automation platform that is easy enough for his mother to use. If you haven't tried it or checked it out, by all means, you should really check it out at hacktheentrepreneur.com/OntraPort. ONTRAPORT. That's hacktheentrepreneur.com/OntraPort. And you heard Landon. The guy is a smart dude. He knows what he's doing, and he's running an award-winning software business based on this product. And I strongly suggest you check it out. Landon said a lot of smart things, didn't he? He did. But he said one thing. He said one thing. Did you get it? Did you hear it? Let's do it. Let's find the hack.
Just appreciating that wherever you're at, you are a whole and complete human being that, has everything you possibly need to be successful, and that you deserve to achieve, and you deserve the fruits of your labor.
And that's the hack. Yes, Landon, thank you. It's an inspirational and motivational sort of hack of the day, but absolutely necessary to, this kind of goes even to the whole imposter syndrome thing that we can kind of deal with as entrepreneurs. As we gain some success, we start to think that maybe we don't deserve the success we have. And prior to that, we don't have any success possibly yet. And we might not think, we might read books from people that are quote unquote famous and super entrepreneurs, and we might think that they know something, or they have something, or they are a natural born entrepreneur. It doesn't exist. These things don't exist. These are all in all of us. We all have it within us to step up and do these things. We just have to be willing to do it. And we have to know that every success that we do get, or everything that we do, or where we are in life, is because of what we did. And we do deserve it. We deserve the things that we get. We deserve the fruits of our labor, and we deserve to do big, cool things. And Landon, you've done some amazingly big and some amazingly cool things. You deserve all of it. And I know you do. And he goes on later after to say how he doesn't even think there's a huge difference between the smartest people and the dumbest people in the world. There's not big differences between the super successful and the not successful, if you will call them that. It's kind of a dumb term, but really, I mean, the big difference is that the people who are super successful or super famous or super rich is they wanted to be that. They wanted and they pushed for that, and they knew inside that they deserved it. And really, the psychology of it and the mindset that you need to set up is really one of the biggest battles. And I thank you, Landon, for sharing that with us. All right, hacktheentrepreneur.com is the website. Get on my email list, please. Every Sunday afternoon, I am sending out an email, and I would love for you to get it. Also, if you have not had a chance, if you could go hacktheentrepreneur.com/iTunes and leave me a rating or a review, that would help so much. It takes 2 minutes of your time, and there's no way better to help out the show. If you are not on an iPhone, please go to hacktheentrepreneur.com/Stitcher, or if you are on your computer, Stitcher.com, look up Hack the Entrepreneur. Please leave me a rating or review. I know Stitcher's a bit confusing and it's a bit harder to do, but please, I would greatly appreciate it, and it helps out so much. It's been a lot of fun. As always, I thank you for taking the time to join me, and until next time, please keep hacking the entrepreneur.